Several Minnesota athletes represented Team USA at the Olympics this month in Paris.
We actually caught up with a family of the very first Minnesotan to compete in the Olympics, and he was in Paris too, 100 years ago. In tonight's home team, Mike Mack shares his fascinating story and the lessons we can all learn from his experience those many years ago.
It is a remarkable story. Carl Anderson was the first ever Minnesotan to compete in the Olympics. But that's just part of a remarkable story his family still honors 100 years later. Carl Anderson was the 10th child of Swedish immigrants born in 1900. He grew long and lean and loved to run. He was good at it.
He ended up going to the University of Minnesota. He became a hurdler.
He set a world record as a hurdler and qualified for the 1924 Olympic Games in Paris, France, to try and win gold. And on this day, he was off to claim it.
He went over on the boat and competed in the 110 high hurdles. And in his event, he was winning.
And it appeared he had a chance to close it out.
A camera went off at the very first hurdle, and you can see if he was not leading, he was certainly one of the leaders.
And then the unthinkable. Going down the stretch, he fell over one of the final hurdles, finishing a disappointing 5th place. But finishing, and that message is still alive with his family a century later.
When things don't go the way we think about him and say, you know, the race isn't over.
Then he demonstrated it, going to medical school and becoming a surgeon in just 3 years. Again, his mettle was tested. One day after completing a surgery, life changed yet again.
The last thing he remembers is watching his pen fall to the ground, and he's out. He's out for 14 days.
The man who had battled back and had just married and found a new life became depressed, very depressed.
He couldn't walk. He could hardly speak. And he tried to commit suicide.
With the help of his wife and brothers, he came back, no longer an Olympian or a surgeon, but a new calling.
So he went back and taught at the University of Minnesota, and that went really well for him. But then after a while, he doors opened up, so he went to work for Northwestern National Life Insurance.
And in 2024, his family had a reunion in Paris at the Olympic Games, there to watch just one race, the one Grandpa ran 100 years earlier.
It's just, I'm going to tear up now. It was just this amazing moment. And we all sat there and watched it and knew that 100 years ago, he had been in those very blocks. We were all crying when they got up and lined up, you know, and even when they set up the hurdles.
Yes, there are some things that don't change from 1924 to 2024.
Just to soak it all in, the whole experience, and kind of have an understanding when athletes have good days and bad days, what it's like.
And to know he ran that same race, huh?
Yeah.
Anderson's family legacy includes his track and field coaches, including his granddaughter, an assistant at Bethel University that remembers her grandpa well, as the man who counseled her after she fell short to make the state track meet in high school. Yes, the man who earned this participation medal, not a gold, had some advice for his granddaughter.
And he grabbed my hand and he's like, Annie, when I felt the Olympics, I just remember looking up and saying, everyone go past me. And I just got up and I finished the race. And he said, you got to get up and you got to finish the race.
Yes, it seemed this day might define him. The day in July of 1924 when he took his shot. The day that ended in disappointment when he fell. Turned out it was defining. Not because he lost the race, but because he finished. And that is his enduring legacy and his gift to his family.
Most of us, I would say, and most of us have had those moments where it's too late. It's over. I'll never be the same again. And that's when you have to remember him. And that's when you have to remember that get up, shake yourself off, run over that last hurdle, and finish the race. Don't give up. Finish the race.
And 2 months later, after that fateful day, Carl ran again against the same competition in a non-Olympic event, and he won the race, finishing in first place.